In LA this week, LAFD unveils a new emergency vehicle that performs double duty. That's coming up.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, how the LAPD is making wishes come true for some young children at Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
I'm Anna Marcos. LAX is bringing a little culture to the friendly skies with the installation of art projects. More on the latest exhibits coming up.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Our top story, the council member representing Sherman Oaks stands by area homeowners in their battle against McMansions. Gil Reyes has more.
Let me reaffirm my pledge to you.
Speaking to people of Sherman Oaks, area councilman David Rue says he can't be bought.
I still won't take any contributions from any developers. So you could be assured that I will be independent in my thinking.
Rue speaking to the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association about large-scale development that some fear would increase traffic and reduce open space. Residents are against a planned expansion of the old sun-kissed building site on Riverside Drive off the 101 freeway. As talks with developers continue, Rue promises not to keep any secrets.
So if you go to my website, anytime I meet with a developer that has a project in our district, you will know I met with them. Any information I could share with you, I will post it up so you could get it as well.
With Rue leading the way, the LA City Council has also passed a motion aimed at preventing new mini mansions from popping up in Sherman Oaks. Critics say these so-called McMansions are ruining the area's character. Rue says his interim control ordinance, considered a temporary solution, should take effect in 2016. Meantime, Rue says he's working on long-term solutions.
I'm inspired by him. I think he has youth on his side and enthusiasm.
He replaced a man who I thought did a great job, and so far it seems like he's stepping right up and he's continuing the good work.
And I think he's doing a good job. But give him a minute, you know what I mean? He just kicked it off.
Less than 6 months into the job, the day this story was filed. In Sherman Oaks, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Rue replaced termed-out Councilman Tom LaBonge. His 4th District Council seat stretches from Sherman Oaks to the Miracle Mile. While emergency service response calls in the city of Los Angeles have jumped by 14% over the last 2 years. In response, the LAFD is taking steps to help create more efficiency for residents. Rasha Goel has more.
Decrease response times, improve LAFD performance, and ensure safety are the main focus of the city and Los Angeles Fire Department. To help them successfully meet their goals, a new vehicle was recently unveiled at LAFD Fire Station number 64.
And that is the Nurse Practitioner Response Unit. This is a 12-month pilot program to address the high-frequency users of the 911 system and those who may use 911 for primary health care needs.
The NPRU can provide more expansive care options than our typical rescue ambulances, and most importantly, can free up other LAFD resources to remain available for emergency calls.
The innovative vehicle aims to provide direct on-the-scene care to those who use emergency medical services the most. Officials say they have seen a growth in calls related to medical emergencies.
The lack of hospital beds in this community in close proximity makes this innovation one that is particularly promising to our community.
This is staffed by a nurse practitioner and a paramedic. The nurse practitioner could do wound repair, laceration repair, write prescriptions, give many medications beyond the scope of practice of a paramedic.
And even for some city officials, having efficient resources hits close to home.
My sister died because she couldn't get health care. She had an asthma attack in a hospital. And they left her waiting because the hospital was too full. They couldn't get to her in time. And she stopped breathing. She had permanent brain damage. That's why I fight for what we're doing every single day today.
In addition, the LAFD is excited about the improvements with its data-driven program called FireStat LA, which was launched in 2014.
The average response time when you call this department is now down by 11 seconds over the last 2 years.
You can log on to LAFD.org and click on FireStat LA to view the response times for the city, as well as response times and incidents per your local station. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The LAFD is the first large municipal fire department to offer the nurse practitioner response unit and service. Well, 'tis the season of giving, and the LAPD is doing its part to bring smiles to some young cancer patients at Children's Hospital. Rasha Goel has more.
It's an emotional yet happy moment for Crystal Franco, whose 4-year-old son, Steven, just received his second bone marrow transplant. They have been at Children's Hospital Los Angeles since last December. And it's a blessing, she says, for the LAPD to gift her son some of his favorite things for the holidays.
It's awesome because at this time, it's hard for us to even buy presents for him because one parent working and stuff, it's hard. So he was excited last night, and I was excited for him. He couldn't sleep.
Steven is among the patients who is part of Cops for Tots, a 17-year-old program where cops gift young patients in the bone marrow ward with Christmas gifts every year. Officials from Children's Hospital Los Angeles and the LAPD say what makes this program more unique and exciting is the young patients get to create their own wish list of what they want Santa to bring to them this year.
We actually will come out maybe 2 weeks prior to today and get their exact wish list of what they want. So each gift is picked out with that child's name on it, and they get exactly what they asked for. My officers will shop all over town to get the exact thing.
And some of the things on this year's wish list were
sleeping bags, clothes. One young girl wanted a bike. Another one wanted Christmas decorations for when she gets home. I love Central Traffic Division, and I appreciate them so much.
The Cops for Tots program is funded through a car show fundraiser held in June.
It's kind of speechless that when we get up there and we're able to produce all these gifts for all these kids that are sometimes making their last wish, and we're able to put a smile on their face for Christmas.
It's a scene where even cops tear up.
It gets pretty emotional because sometimes, as police officers, we feel we want to get in and help, get in and fix things, and here we feel helpless, and we feel like we want to do more, but this is all we can do.
But what they're doing is enough to bring some joy and cheer to those kids who need it the most. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Families also received a $100 gift card to a popular retail chain. Well, the Festival of Lights kicked into high gear recently as city officials, dignitaries, and the Shabbat of downtown LA came together for the annual Hanukkah ceremony at City Hall. The rabbi and LA Mayor Eric Garcetti light the first and second candles of Hanukkah, kicking off the 8-day Festival of Lights celebration. And there was no holding back as faith and city leaders got into the spirit of the holiday at City Hall by kicking up their heels and doing a traditional dance.
And this light is indicative of what the City of Angels offers as an example to the rest of the world what is possible in terms of hope, faith, peace, and love.
Hanukkah commemorates the rededication of the temple in 165 BC after its destruction. The oil for the eternal flame was supposed to last for only 1 day, but stayed lit for 8. The mayor tried to explain the miracle to his young daughter.
She said, "How, Daddy? How did it burn for 8 days?" And that moment when you try to tell your child about the possibility of the divine, the possibility of the miraculous, the possibility that hope can sometimes overcome anything we think possible is the message today.
Hanukkah is a time for Jewish people to not only remember the darkness of the past, but also hope for a bright future for all.
We call on all communities to work together to strengthen our relationship between the United States and Israel, between France, the United States, and Israel, communities of goodwill working together for the betterment of our people and our communities and our world.
We have the ability to create our own miracles. We can't just sit around and wait for them, but we actually can create them.
This 150-year-old menorah has special meaning because it once belonged to a synagogue in Poland and was later smuggled out piece by Holocaust survivors and eventually found its way to Los Angeles, where it has shone brightly for the last quarter of a century.
Don't you ever, ever be afraid, because you're never, ever alone. That's what it's all about. And that's what Hanukkah is about.
The celebration, of course, wouldn't be complete without traditional Hanukkah songs performed by the Shabbat Children's Choir and plenty of latkes and jelly donuts. A special time to rejoice in a festival of light. The city attorney takes the SoCal Gas Leak to the next level. The mayor promotes a campaign to help homeless veterans move into homes, and a new project aims to provide more open space in Reseda. All these stories and more in City Beat. Calling it an ongoing public health emergency, City Attorney Mike Feuer filed a lawsuit against the Southern California Gas Company over the leak at their natural gas storage facility near Porter Ranch in the northwest San Fernando Valley. Feuer said that no community should have to endure what Porter Ranch residents have suffered from the gas company's failure to stop the Aliso Canyon gas leak. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti supported the move, saying that SoCal Gas needs to take immediate steps to solve this environmental disaster. Among other things, the lawsuit seeks to ensure the leak is repaired as quickly as possible and that the leak's cause and reason are determined and steps are taken to prevent this from happening again. Mayor Eric Garcetti declared December 1st as a citywide day of giving known as Giving Tuesday during a celebration at Bob Hope Patriotic Hall. Giving Tuesday is a global celebration where people around the world unite to celebrate generosity and give back to their communities. Mayor Garcetti also highlighted the hashtag Homes for Heroes campaign, an effort to help 500 formerly homeless veterans move into new homes by providing security deposits, furniture, and other essentials.
The hashtag Homes for Heroes campaign will help turn those houses into home by supplying veterans with those last basic things that they need to get into their home.
LA City Council member Bob Blumenfield broke ground recently on a new river park in Reseda that will bring nearly 7 acres of new open space to the LA River and Aliso Creek. More than 6 years in the making, the project will create a 2-acre park, 1 mile of walking paths, and 3/4 miles of a bicycle path and greenway, 14 decorative entrance gates, and a 100-foot-long mural. A vacant lot along the river will be transformed into a natural space that will provide habitat for wildlife and recreational green space for local residents.
And it's a gem that's going to be a home for all of us here, and it's going to be a destination for folks who are downriver.
One city councilman is openly criticizing President Obama's landmark trade pact. Gil Reyes has more on the climate controversy surrounding the TransPacific Partnership.
We reached agreement on a new trade deal that promotes American values and protects American workers.
President Obama promoting what could be the crowning achievement of his final year in office, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It's expected to boost trade between the U.S. and 11 other Pacific Rim nations. Though Japan, Mexico, and the other countries involved have signed on, it still needs approval from Congress.
TPP really stands for the planet. Poof.
Count LA City Councilman Paul Koretz and environmentalists the Sierra Club as among those opposing the deal. At a news conference outside City Hall, Koretz spoke of the possible weakening of California laws protecting the environment. Koretz says big corporations like ExxonMobil and Dow Chemical will be able to sue local governments over laws that reduce their profits. They've sued other nations under similar trade agreements in the past, and Koretz fears they'll do it again in California under the new deal.
At a time when we must be implementing more clean energy faster to combat climate change, it is dangerous to even consider giving away any more of our rights to multinational corporations.
Officials at ExxonMobil say they're committed to expanding energy sources safely. Congress is expected to make a ruling on the Trans-Pacific Partnership this spring. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The nations involved make up 40% of the world's economy, making the Trans-Pacific Partnership the largest regional trade pact in history. Well, a little artistic flair lives in the halls at LAX, and it provides culture and some R&R for travelers going through LA's busy airport. Anna Marcos takes in the sights at the latest exhibit. Anna.
Yana, how about taking in a little art while you wait to catch a plane or you wait for your luggage to arrive? LAX has up to 11 of these art installations at terminals throughout the airport. These two art projects bring a little nature into the fluorescent lit halls of the Arrivals Terminal Number 3 at LAX.
The airport can be a stressful place, and people sometimes might be nervous about flying, and so art can create a more humanized environment. And people also have a lot of time at the airport, and they're looking for something to do and something to look at.
Swedish artist Pontus Wolfers adds the element of wood to this 100-foot wall. 400 planks of lumber pulled from a torn-down LA building helped him to create his sculpture, Douglas Fir Reclaimed.
You have these planks that have all the markings from construction. They've been used with construction. There is paint, there are nail holes, drill holes. But before that, obviously, they came from, a tree like this, an organic form that very slowly develops over time, where everything is unique. I think it talks about our need to connect to nature and be part of nature.
Artist Kathy Weiss painted these woodcut prints to celebrate everything from deer to flowers to raccoons.
She literally is inspired by her, what's in her backyard. So it's coyotes, it's butterflies, it's hummingbirds.
For some travelers, the art is not just something to look at. It also serves as a calming backdrop for whatever it is you do during a long layover. And these two art projects will be on display at the Arrivals Terminal Number 3 until June of next year. But there's many other art projects here to enjoy. Yana?
Thanks, Anna. Most of the terminals at LAX, including the Tom Bradley International Terminal, have art installations. Well, a world-class arts destination in downtown Los Angeles recently offered visitors a rare glimpse behind the scenes, and it was all free. Rasha Goel explains.
It was an all-access pass and a free day-long event to some of the creme de la creme of the arts at Grand Avenue, highlighting the art-centric stretch on Grand Avenue between Temple and 6th Streets.
So there are 12 arts organizations who are all collaborating today to bring you visual arts, film, music performances, dance performances, behind-the-scenes tours, guided tours, architectural tours. It's really a little bit of everything.
It's an eclectic taste of a street that has become a distinctive centerpiece in downtown Los Angeles and has also helped with revitalizing the area.
Grand Avenue is an amazing treasure. It's a national treasure, but it's really a wonderful resource for Angelinos. It's right here in downtown, and it has, in a really small stretch of a few blocks, an amazing amount of cultural and arts wealth.
And it's a wealth of knowledge being offered by some of the most prestigious affiliated institutions. Participating institutions at the event were Grand Park, the Center Theater Group, the LA Philharmonic, the Music Center, Colburn School, MoCA, the Public Library, and Red Cat.
We were just up watching the LA Opera speakers talk about how that's all put together, so I've only been here for about an hour and a half, and I've already learned so much. It's just fascinating.
Grand Avenue has become a cultural hub, attracting visitors from across the world and generating a significant income for Southland businesses.
I think it's great. It's a way to get the people of the city united, and it's also great because it's a venue of the arts.
Just one masterpiece of a city filled with so much culture. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The Broad, an art gallery founded by philanthropist Eli Broad, is the latest venue to open in downtown LA. Well, LA's first responders put their emergency operations to the test as several agencies highlight what they do best. Gil Reyes has more from the LA Port. Gil.
That's right, Yana. The LA City Fire Department and the LA Port Police say they get together with their public safety partners for emergency drills such as this one at least once a year. The philosophy being practice makes perfect.
The LA City Fire Department tests the water pumping capabilities of its 5 fire boats, putting on a water show for their fellow first responders, teammates, over the next 2 days.
We have Long Beach Fire, LA City Fire, we have the Port Police, Long Beach Police, dive teams.
The U.S. Coast Guard hosts the salvage and marine firefighting drills at the Port of LA. Public safety agencies practicing emergency response as a team, knowing they're all in this together.
If you have a fire, you know, the fire department handles that, but then if the boat sinks, then there might be a pollution incident where the Coast Guard is responsible, and there's, or it could be a law enforcement issue. So it's important that we're all familiar with each other.
Unified Command contained last September's wharf fire at the port. Though the fire paralyzed commerce for days, no one was killed, no injuries reported. Different types of emergencies call for different types of response.
It could start off as a search and rescue event, transition over to an investigative component, and then ultimately a salvage component.
That's where the LA Port Police Department's side scan sonar comes in. These missile-shaped detectors can help locate sunken vessels and more using sonar imagery on a computer screen.
If somebody were to drown in the port, sonar could be used to locate and recover the victim.
The department's remote-operated vehicles can also check if it's safe to send divers from other agencies to investigate.
So all of us have been working together, and I must say, very happy that we're working together very nicely. Good coordinated effort between everyone involved.
So yeah, brief demonstration of some of the capabilities at their disposal, capabilities that will only be enhanced with a lot of teamwork and a lot of practice. Yana?
Soccer is on big time at Griffith Park as city leaders, kids, and residents welcome the opening of new soccer fields. About 171,000 kids expected to use the fields each year. And Marcos takes us there.
It's a place where little kids can go through all their fumbles on the way to becoming accomplished soccer players. Kids, city leaders, and Olympic legends alike came to cheer on the grand opening of a major renovation that brings 4 new soccer fields to kids at Griffith Park.
I like the bounciness of it.
These fields will have so many multiple benefits to the kids who play on them. No more go-for-holes kids, no more rocks, no more dust and all those sorts of things that cause all you guys so many problems.
I'm happy to see this because it bodes well for the future of soccer in this country. It bodes well. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It bodes well for the future of soccer in this city.
The $10.5 million upgrade is only a first phase of the project. The second phase will open 3 more soccer fields for adults.
This project converts 26 acres into a safe and healthy place for all our children in our surrounding communities.
There's nothing like open space. And there's nothing like the field that you sit on.
The project is partly supported by funds from the LA 84 Foundation, which uses surplus funds from the 84 Olympic Games to support children's sports programs.
Well, I make sure that you guys and your friends and others have a chance to understand the best that sports has to offer, because after all, sports belongs to everybody. It is a birthright.
Eventually, I wish to become a professional soccer player or any career in soccer, whether it's coaching or just being there.
The fields have barely opened, and already they are booked every weekend all day and every weekday evening, which means some of these kids just might have a shot at that soccer career.
It's really a good feeling when you win.
I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The field's synthetic turf also means the fields will save the city millions of gallons of water annually. Well, the community of Pacoima celebrated the opening of its first permanent art space in decades with a Mexican tradition dating back centuries. Gil Reyes reports.
The imagery is familiar. Skulls and skeletons, photographs of the dearly departed.
And then we put out sweetbread, water, drinks, or fruit so that they can come in the night and they can enjoy what we've set out for them.
Gabby Vignon is one of 40 local artists who set up altars as tributes on Pacoima's Dia de los Muertos celebration. The 2-day festival in November honoring the dead mixes ancient Aztec mythology with Catholicism of conquering Spaniards. This Mexican tradition dates back centuries, but in mostly Latino Pacoima, there's something new this year. A focus on tourism from an all-new outdoor space.
Well, what's so great about arts and culture is that they can serve as economic drivers for our community. It brings local cultural tourism. And what's new for this year is that we've initiated a brand new open-air museum, El Museo al Aire Libre. And we're celebrating the arts not just on Dia de los Muertos weekend, but all year long.
It's a gallery. Pacoima, last gallery they had in Pacoima was in the 70s, and it disappeared. Now we have a new gallery, and a lot of local artists are very excited to actually be able to show in their own backyard.
With plans for different themes at the open-air museum throughout the year. And while you're here, Pacoima Councilman Felipe Fuentes recommends grabbing a bite at the new Cafe o Muerto coffee shop at Pacoima City Hall.
We're using locally sourced food stock for a juice bar. We're using brand new coffee operators in our city facility. And it's an opportunity for people to celebrate one another and be in communion in a beautiful, comfortable, inexpensive place.
And do it all year long. In Pacoima, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Adding to Pacoima's artsy renaissance, 12 bus benches near Pacoima City Hall are adorned with photographs depicting life in the community. While a holiday tradition brings the magic of the season to life, a rare glimpse of Santa's favorite friends and some cool jazz soothes the soul. All this in this week's Things to Do. The Los Angeles Ballet presents a family favorite, The Nutcracker, set in 1913 Los Angeles. Join Clara, her uncle Drosselmeyer, and her beloved Nutcracker as she travels to the land of snow and to the Palace of the Dolls, where all of her favorite doll companions come to life. The essential holiday tradition continues and is not to be missed. The holiday magic unfolds at Royce Hall, located at 340 Royce Drive on December 19th and 20th. For more, visit losangelesballet.org. The Los Angeles Zoo presents a rare opportunity to see live reindeer at its Reindeer Romp holiday celebration. Guests are invited to make the most of the season with a full day of fun and adventure at a great value, highlighted by a visit with Noel, Belle, Velvet, and Jingle in their wintry Reindeer Village home, the only place to view live reindeer in Los Angeles. A flurry of other activities on weekends include holiday crafts for youngsters, ice carving demonstrations, puppet shows, and other entertainment, including visits with Santa Claus in an all-new whimsical Santa Village, which runs through January 3rd. For more, visit lazoo.org. Jazz musician Steve Coleman got his start in a club on Chicago's South Side, and now he wants to inspire other young musicians to bring out their passion for music through a series of workshops and performances. Coleman plans to travel across the country and will be in LA Saturday and Sunday, December 19th and 20th at the Blue Whale Jazz Club, located inside Little Tokyo Mall in downtown. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybeat.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.